So here we go again. What is it? 11/5/2013, Tuesday afternoon. We are diving into Python yet again with Django and stuff and so forth. And so we'll open with, how's it going? That's good. Lots of positive feedback? Okay. Question is, what are we going to cover today? And as usual, everybody's bump on a log. So we'll go with the bump on a log theory. Bump on a log theory says that the thing that I think we should discuss is Django CVB form. Is form handling with class-based views in Django, because we've not really dealt with form handling at all. We have a project that we did last time around, and we used the Django admin to attach to a model, and then we're able to admin that model. But obviously we'll want to do more with that data. We want to display it out and possibly take user feedback or user information, filter that, and then post it to a model. But we want a form, no matter what, some kind of input from the user. So we'll we'll go ahead and follow their example here, and we can create our own as we go. But first off, we'll have a look at what they tell us in the docs. Kind of hard to read sometimes, so it'll be good. We need forms.py is where this lives. What is it? It's a contact form. Forms.form. Equate this to models.model. Models.model is what? The base class for any Django data table, right? So I would have, well, let's look at what we did last time, right? We came up with something last time, and we made some models. I remember making models. Do you remember making models? No one remembers model making. Oh, that didn't help. See, Django 1.6, right? And then you run an install from that folder. Tuesday's class, 10/29, that's a week ago. So our store, okay, that's the name of our project, and we had department. In there, we came up with a models file. What's that look like to us? Nothing. What did we do then? Oh, we did views. Good for us. And we used a test function, passing a context variable. Right, she wanted me to isolate it into a function. I remember this now, but no models. We did models previously. So that's not a good reference for us, but oh well. In a models.model, let's go ahead and edit this again. I would and we are in department. So right, does this look unfamiliar to anyone? It's a model file. Come on, we got to know what models are by now. Okay, we got a little bit of a shake of people's head, just a little bit though. No, yes, no, nothing. No feedback is horrible. So we are in. Yeah, where are we? Do it the easy way, like Kavita says. And it went down. Manage.py. What did we just add? So what we need to do. Good. Didn't create anything new. What do I think is wrong? Ooh, see, I test good. What do I think is wrong? You saw me make the model file, right? Let's make sure I saved it. Yeah, I mean, okay, now it's saved. There we go. It helps to save the file. I was going to look in settings.py to make sure that we had referenced the application, because that would be the only other reason that it wouldn't go. So there we go. We created a table. Now what we can do is run. No, I can't do run. What do I do? Manage a pie. Well, at least my jokes aren't lost on everybody. Okay, so there we go. Happy, happy, happy. We can't see the model that we just created because we haven't made an admin for it, right? If we made an admin, we could see that. Here, we can't, so it's not there. What do we have going on? Oh, okay, so we have an index page going on here. That's pretty good. We'll use that for a form. So let's go ahead and start editing this stuff. What do you think? So we are looking at an index. Where is it pointing from is what I'd like to know. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I take it back. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. She's ahead of me. Uh-oh. It's not a good sign when your students are ahead of you. Okay. Here it is. Department views my view, and we're pushing to that from the root. Okay, so we need to edit department views. Oh, I hate this view. There we go. I promised I would do this in Eclipse, and I'm not doing it in Eclipse, so I apologize, but oh well. So now we need to be able to deal with the form that they're asking us to create here, and we need forms.py. So that's what I'm going to create right now, and we're going to edit from there. New file. Come on, where are you? What are we calling it? Bueller. Okay. So I'm going to add this to my Python Win instance, and it's empty. What are we in? Department. Okay, and let's go ahead and just pull directly from the docs here, other than mail. I don't want to mail anything. All right, so this is pretty good. I'm thinking this is going to bonk. I thought we had to assign max length to those. Anyway, so we're importing Django forms. That allows you classes that you use to build forms from. Forms.form is equal to models.model, except we're not talking about a model, an object that stays, right? That's a model, an object that stays. We're talking about a form that gets filled out, submitted, processed, and then returns valid or invalid. Right? And if it's invalid, it actually has to highlight what's invalid and then resubmit and recheck all of that. And how many of you have actually written logic to do form processing in any language? So JavaScript, what? Oh, ActionScript, yeah, duh. Yeah, there are form objects in ActionScript as well. Cool. All right, how about you, Andy? PHP, there you go. Oh, nice. So you both know that it's not a simple task to put a widget on a page and then get a form to submit from that widget. I mean, there's a lot of plumbing that has to go into the process. What I'm going to do is show you how to do it in Django in a few lines of code. So that's the goal here, is to show you how to shortcut these things. We know a char field, we know what that looks like on a web page, right? It's just a blank box. So that's a great place for us to start here. We'll go ahead and leave it named what they named it in their example. Now what we need to do is have a view to that. We need to be able to see that form. So once again, I'm doing this for you. I'm going to copy this directly from the docs. And we're going to edit our views.py that it's probably already open in it. There it is. And we're just going to edit this. And these obviously don't go here. What's this file missing? Bueller. And it should also have an author, possibly more description. Okay, and all this is not required, but it is the way I do it. I put all of my object creators at the bottom. Right? As view creates an object versus like contact view is a constructor for an object. Not really a constructor, but you know what I'm saying. Object, class, contact view. Okay, so contact view is of type form view. Form view is exactly the same idea as template view, which we looked at last time. You remember template view? All we do is we give it a template name, and it pushes that out in an HTML get for us. Right? Very, very simple. So the issue here is that not only do we want to process get now, we also need to process post, because we're getting the form and we're posting the data. So we need to cover both of those. And Django, all you have to do is put the right mixin in. So we're now using the form view mixin that goes from only doing get to doing get and post. Okay, so now we tell it our template name, contact.html, our form class, contact form, which is from our other file, so we'll need to import that. Is it really called my app? No. What? Oh. This is not right. Department. No. No, that's not right either. No. Hang on. Oh. That's what they're doing. Being weird. Ah. I believe it's department. Yeah, department. Forms, import contact form, right? So we do have it. I jumped to conclusions. And success URL, we'll deal with that in a moment, and I'm not going to deal with form valid. We're just going to deal with success URL for the moment. We'll expand on that shortly. So we have our template, which we don't have yet, so we'll need to make that. And it's going to be called contact.html, right? Oh, sheesh. Silly guy. That's Guillermo from Argentina. Most friendly person I've ever met on the planet. Anyway, that was funny. Kill my Skype, so we don't have that going on. All right. We made our template, but I assume they give us that template, or do they not? Really? They don't. Well, that's not helpful, is it? I can make it off the top of my head. I'm just wanting to use their style. Really surprised they don't give it to us. Let's see if they'll give it to us in the standard Django form. I just want to make sure you have good, clean examples to work with. I can come up with it off the top of my head, but as I said, no. There we go. See, it's really good that I find it in the actual docs so we don't have funky questions going on. So We're going to put that in our HTML, which is where? Nope. I'm going to memorize Sakuli yet. There we go. Yay, Notepad++. Happy? There's our form. Are we still running? We are. Question is that everything we need? Oh, we're missing something really important. Anyone? I'm sorry? Come on. Nothing? Really? We'll just use this central view. This is the root view. We could use the one inside our app, but we'll just use this one for now, because I'm not talking about URLs right now. At least I'm not supposed to be. All right, and it is unknown because we haven't named it yet. Everybody understand what I just did? Hopefully. We created a view. It is of type form view. This is exactly the same thing as we did earlier. We created a view of type template view. Instead, we're now creating a view of type form view. We've given it a template name and created that template. There it is right there. We told it what form class we're using. We created that form class not moments ago. Now, I just this second added a view to it, and what did we call it? Yeah, probably. No. Contact view. Yeah, let's look again. See, I'm testing you. You got to pay attention. Not going to get it. Contact view. Okay, good. Short-term memory is not my strong suit. Okay. So, moving right along. This is off root, though, so obviously that's not going to work. What do we want to call it? Hard answer. And then a slash, so we require a slash at the end. Did I get everything? We'll find out here in a minute. Oh, telling me I didn't save. How about save all? I mean, bada bing, right? I know it feels like it's taken us 20 minutes to get through this, but if I were just doing this myself off the top of my head, it'd be moments, right? We have a URL that points to our view. Our view is only a few lines long. And I can actually show you how to ditch some of these lines if we got really fancy. And our form is only a few lines long as well. But if we look at the HTML, I mean, it's ready to rock and roll. And now we put in stuff and a bunch of stuff. And it's happy. It's looking for thanks. See, it says thanks there. That's what it's looking for. Why? Because we told it to. Right? Thanks. So, also, this is poor form. We should use reverse and actually send them to wherever we want to send them. And what is reverse, they say? I should really be using Eclipse. I wouldn't have to look up these libraries. Oh, index, or what did we call it? I think we called it my view. Yeah, my view. Right, and now I need to reference reverse, and I don't remember the library name, and Pi, that won't look it up for me. There we go. Thank you. And it's probably in the wrong order, but I don't care right now. I believe I just saved. I did. So now we'll go back here. Go back to our form. Reload. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? No one has any clue what yeah, that's what I was just scratching my head about. I may not like this. So I didn't like that reverse. I'm pretty sure I did it right. Anyway, I'm half tempted to skip it because I really don't care. Sorry, there it is. I'm wondering if it needs context. I'm going to troubleshoot for half a second longer, and then I'm going to give up because it's not really important. Yeah, I know, but it's the reverse that's causing the error. And it shouldn't be, and that's why I'm a little confused. Reverse is super duper unbelievably touchy. So I will probably just give up and say I will try it again next time. Yeah. I'll get back to you on the reverse here. Silly thing. Okay, and now it's going to look for thanks, of course, which isn't there, but we can deal with that. Let's have it go back to the root so it doesn't do nothing. Although we could have it do a success. Let's follow our instructions here. So we generated this, which gave us our nice form. They're trying to send an email. I'm not dealing with that yet. But what we can do is we can talk about what happens with the form validation. So here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. This keyboard's kind of funky, sorry. So here we see, I'm going to take this out because it's never going to run and I don't want to confuse you with it. So when we click submit on our form, which should now work in theory, no, the form, there we go. When we click submit on our form, what happens? The answer is we post data, but how do we deal with the data that's posted? That's the real question. And the answer is we can interrupt the dispatcher in multiple locations. At this point, I want to interrupt where the form is valid. So I replace the form valid function with my own. See, I'm supering form valid with my own function. Right? We should get super by now. I've done that multiple times. I hope we all get super at this point. So I'm overriding form valid. The existing form valid still runs, but it runs after what I'm about to put in here. This runs first. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put 1 divided by 0. Let's go back to our nice form. Remember, we're supposed to end up at thanks, right? When I click submit, it should go to thanks. Instead, I get a zero division error, right? Right? Because it's erroring where I told it to. We've only talked a little bit about the nice error screens, but I want to point you to here. Here's where it errored. Check this out. Here's everything that's existing in RAM relative to this piece, right? And if we really want to get detailed, you can slide down and see all the metadata, and you have direct access to all of this information from inside Django. So if there's ever something you're like, I'm not sure where it is, create an error and then look through the list. You'll probably find what you're looking for. But very often I don't create an error on purpose. I get an error that comes up like this. And so I need to see what's running. So here's what's going on. And we know we're processing form, right? I mean, we should know that. And here, if I click this, I can actually see the context of where that error occurred. So use the Django errors to your advantage. It's really, really great that the stack's already there, and you can even go back and see what called it. So this called form valid, and it's all inside here, so you can always drill and figure out where your problem stemmed from. At least that's the theory. So let's do something with our form data here. Do they do anything with their form data? Oh, they use it for an email, don't they? Yeah. Send email. And their send email does nothing. Do they do anything else with it? No, I don't want to deal with that. See, they're using reverse right there. I wonder why it foobarred on me. Oh, we'll have to look that up. They don't play with the data. Oh, that's nice. Here, they take the form and they add the user who created the form to the information. It's interesting, but as it said, they'd have to be logged in first. I think we should probably just look at the data in the form for the moment. Ooh, that's so nice. If you know what Ajax is, you can stare at that for a minute. Here we go. I'm moving back to play with this data. So let's have a look at what this data is. Test variable. Right, and let's go ahead and error it here. Let's say, why are you erroring it like that? The answer is because it makes it really easy for me to display it to you if I error it out that way. Right, because now we can go back and we can look at those variables. Right, I took form and I did a dir of it. So we see all the methods available to us. But we also see the fields that it created as well. Fields, data, clean, all this kind of stuff. So it's a little awkward to look at it here. So let's use the power of Python to look at it a little more directly. And so, oh, it's scrolling way over there. That's not very helpful, is it? Sorry. I'm just going to make this not scroll all the way over. Yeah, look at me. Yeah. That should be okay. Let's try this again, shall we? It's still too long. Sorry about doing these stupid things in the middle of this, but you know, I can only do what I can do. Really, nobody's going to give me a hard time at all. And let's make this the same. There we go. So where are we? It's P. Yeah, here's what we used in our form. Where's here we used as P. What is that? Well, we'll start with there. So if we have an instance that actually produces all the HTML required to put those widgets on the page. As you can see, we use an input which defines by definition what kind of object it is, and it's of type text. So it's a text input widget. And here we have our text area with the columns and rows. And we didn't have to deal with any of that. Django just takes care of that on the fly. And that's, if we look at the source of the page here, you'll see that's exactly what we see. Okay, let's find out, shall we? So let's go ahead and switch to our form, because now we're talking about dealing with the form items, right? So here, now, let's go ahead and refresh here and see that I didn't run the server, so it's going to have a really hard time dealing with that, isn't it? And let's have a look at the source. Right, so all of the attributes that a widget has are available to you in a form. So basically, you create a Python object and it is translated into the required elements for that object to exist in a form. And as you saw, the HTML to generate it is nothing. We wrap it in this form action because we have to, right? I mean, we have to put it inside of a form in some way. So that's why that's there. And this token is for security. And you saw here, it actually encodes your session. So, you know, it's actually coming from you. It's definitely you coming to and from. There's kinds of wonderful encryption technology. Don't worry about it. It just has to be there. Yes, you can make things hidden and still have the process in the form. Anyway, let's get back to here. So don't forget, you can go in and look at all the possible things that this will do. It'll also come out as a table. It's as P is P tags, right, which is what we see. Oh boy. Okay, so here's P tags, right? P, 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 P. Well, you can also do it. Here, let's just do it already. No. Although that's okay, it's not what I wanted. There we go. There we go. There's as P, right? Can also get it in a table if you want it to be inside a table, which is really cool because you'll note that it's not inside a table. It's actually TRs, so it's inside rows. So you can embed this inside your table. It's super duper massively easily. It's super easy. Now my favorite, and I believe I'm going to get this right. I'm having all kinds of problems. No, didn't get it right. I didn't get it right. Let's see. Oh, sorry, unordered list. I wish it was div. And these are list items, which are now more powerful than ever with the latest HTML5 and CSS. You're able to manipulate unordered lists in a whole new way at this point. So it's really nice that it produces it this way. Yes, you can change the labels. Yes, you can add additional parameters. All of that's configurable from within the Django form. Okay, so where were we? We have our form, more stuff, and let's go ahead and submit. It should error nicely still. No, it's not running. Oh, how about now? Okay, good. So let's play with this data. Well, yeah, I'm trying to decide how to approach it because I could do it from a prompt and that might be a little easier, but basically I want to discuss the fields that are in there and we can call those by calling fields. Which is what I'm going to do right now because that way you're not guessing what the fields are, you actually know what the fields are. Go ahead and refresh over here, which is just going to error again, but now we have an additional variable to play with here, which is fields. No, it does not like that. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. It's all, you work just fine. Did I take the error out? I thought it was still erroring. I did, I took the error out. Good for me. Fine, be that way, Chrome. All right, so let's have a look. What field should it say? You should know the answer by now. Message name. And that matches our form. So we'll look at right now. Message and name. Now, we're calling from, I think we're calling from isValid. Are we calling from isValid? Listen to me. I'm not sure. Yeah, form valid. And that's part of the view class, not the form itself, which is why we're not seeing that here. But so now we have the fields, and we can also look up hidden fields. So if you have some fields that are hidden, they would show here. We can pass initial data into our forms, but let's go ahead and pull the data fields out so we know what they are. Here it is too. Visible fields, right? So I wanted, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and deal with this. So form dots. What are the two things that we have? Name and message. So let's just deal with name really easily. Oh, come on, a little bit more. There we go. Oh, it doesn't like that. It said no. Didn't I just do that? Oh, jeez. I just went through the whole thing to show you, and then I didn't even do it right. All right, so we looked at the form, we got the fields from it, and now we're going to go through this. There are a couple of ways to deal with this. Oh man, is it really, really balking? Oh, it's a dictionary. I knew that too. And it says, thank you for submitting, because what did I do? I took the error out. You got to tell me. You can't let me take errors out. If it doesn't error out, we'll have to put stuff into our form so we can see what's going on, and we'd have to super the context, and I don't want to deal with that from here. 1 divided by 0. All right. Root. See, now here's our field object, but we actually want the data, right? We want the data from inside that object. And let's see, did they actually do it here? Yeah, you got the right idea. That's the right idea, what you're suggesting. And what we got is the field data. And once again, I'm trying to point you to where it is. I can display it, that's easy enough, but I actually want to process. And I'm trying to point to you in the docs so you have a good place to go and look again, and the docs are failing me. Gosh, you gotta love it. Yeah, I'm going to have to wing it again. I love winging it so much. It's much better when I wing it. Don't you all love it when I wing it? I should have come up with more information on this before I started. And oh, we're running out of time anyway. So I think I should leave it as is, and we'll have a look at the next section because I wanted to make sure to show it to you. The way we can pull this out with form data, I believe is correct. And this is where prepping helps, rather than trying to do this off the top of my head. Ooh, I like that. I took the error out again, didn't I? See, one of these days you're going to figure out that I want to leave that error in there. Now let's have a look at the data that we got passed. Right. So I don't want to look at the fields, which is what I did here. This is the name field. What I actually want to do, because this is the widget, what I actually want to do is I want to process the data coming out of that. So now we can go name data equals data dot, I'm sorry, dot data name. And then we're going to do something fun with it. Yeah, let's look at it and stop getting all fancy. I need to take that test variable out of there so we stop having to scroll name data. Right, so now we have a nice string that we can work with. The nice part is that you can put validation in, and if things are too, if data is submitted that's not correct, like you want a zip code, so it's only so many characters, or if you want an email address, so it's got to have the right type of thing. Yeah, that might be a really easy one. Let's see if we can do that really quick here. Taking the error out on purpose. Let's go to our forms. Let's do no. Right. 1, 2. much work is it to get this kind of error to come up? A bunch. I mean, if we look at this page now, it is nothing to us, and yet it still produces all of these the error responses and everything else as a part of the Django package sent back. And we can enhance this so it errs slightly different, but it's looking for an actual email address. Okay, and this can be true for valid values, dates, times, all of this. And it's all just built in. You just tell the form what you need the form to do when it comes out. It's identical to the Django admin. The admin has the exact same functionality, but it's tied to a model. In this case, you're tied to nothing, so you don't actually have to store any of this information. You just take it in and process it. For example, in a chat server, I wouldn't save every single thing that comes through, but I still need a form to take in that chat information to put into a stream. But I'm not saving it in a model. I just need it temporarily. So I'd use a form to do that. And in the past, forms were a real challenge to build. But as you can see, they're not a challenge to build. They're actually really straightforward. And if we look at, I was hoping I'd get types. It's not giving me what I'm looking for. Yeah, just like with models. Required and all of that kind of stuff. But Boolean, char, choice, type, date, email, file, float, image. And image is neat because it has a browse button and it allows you actually to take in an image, which is interesting and a nightmare all at the same time. IP addresses, regex fields, so you can actually run a regular expression across what's coming in easily. Select time, URL. URL is actually quite interesting because it actually checks the internet and makes sure that it's actually a valid URL. So lots and lots of flexibility. And, combo fields are drop-downs and all of that. That's all totally available and built in. All the widgets are there. Same thing for date time fields. I don't really like their widget, but it's a good start. And you can swap widgets in and out by simply telling the field use widget X instead of using widget Y. So really, if you have a working widget, you can use almost anything you want. That's enough for today. Forms. Yeah, good. Advanced, too fast, just right. Like just right. All right, ladies, we got an all-girls class now. You ran Andy off. He ran away. Thanks, everybody.